You are Locked On Heat POSTCAST. Part of Locked On Sports Miami on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
What is up, Heat fan? Welcome to your Heat POSTCAST. My name is Jim Greasehaber. Call me Grease, and what a night. Late March back in 25. All right, here we go. 122-125. The final. Your Miami Heat with the win. They layeth the smacketh down on the candy asses of the Charlotte Hornets, and they win finally for the first time since March 3rd. 10-game L streak over. Home L streak over. Still some problems in the fourth quarter. Still some things going on there, but your Miami Heat come up big tonight, and they get the dub. 122-105 over Charlotte. And what really did it for Miami, 37 points in the second quarter, 39 in the third, 76 points over the middle two quarters. They took a 10-point lead at the half, courtesy of a 22-2 run to close out the second quarter. 15 zip in the middle of that as well. Beautiful job tonight. Andrew Wiggins with his season high. And wow, what a night for Wiggins. 42 points, 16 made field goals. He was 6 of 8 from 3. He was 16 of 21 overall from the floor. And then Tyler, we need a hero. 29 points for Tyler on 11 of 19 shooting. 2 of 5 from 3. And then for, good measure, Killer K throwing in 12 points and 8 rebounds. Go along with a block for Ware, and a nice job for Miami all the way across the board on defense, as well as they stifled and stymied LaMelo Ball. He had only 18 points in this game on 19 field goal attempts. Dude, it's what he does. It's his MO. But nobody had 20 for Charlotte. Even Bridges held to 17. Very nice defensive effort for Miami, and what a win for your Miami Heat. You are watching your Heat POSTCAST, brought to you by Monarch Money. This episode brought to you by Monarch Money. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONNBA at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year with Monarch Money, our title sponsor tonight. Heat POSTCAST on the Locked On Podcast Network. A reminder that we are sliding on over to your Locked On Heat podcast channel off the Locked On Sports Miami channel. We are free here for now. Be free there soon. We're free wherever you get your podcast, the audio version. And the prevailing question is, you down with OTT? Yeah, you know me, this whole party. OTT on the Roku, baby. We are everywhere with the Locked On Takeover. It's baseball season. Talking baseball, just getting started next week, and it's going to be a lot of fun. But your Miami Heat still in the 10th spot. They are going to make the play-in. And what they do from there is up to them. But you got Jimmy Butler coming back into town on Tuesday. We'll be here right after that game. The Warriors been playing great since Jimmy got there. Been the exact opposite for the most part with the Miami Heat where Jimmy left. And, it'd be real nice for the Heat to get the dub over Jimmy Butler and the Warriors. And we'll talk about that as we get toward the end of the show. We got your stars of the game. We got your turning point of the game. We've got your final score graphic. We've got all kinds of production elements that we're working in, social media initiatives, new shows, new podcasts, all kinds of things coming your way on the Locked On Podcast Network. All right, let's get to it so we can get through it. How about that? And recap, no cap. See what I did there? Andrew Wiggins, wiggy, can't you see? Sometimes your play just hypnotize me, and I just love your flashy ways. Although he's not really flashy, Wiggins, solid as a rock, man. Ashford and Simpson, yeah, I know that's an old reference, but come on, they were dope. So Wiggins, after being traded here, had the injury, you know what I mean? But last game out, he was over 30 tonight with a 40-point game. He drops the 42 to be exact, but a big night shooting for him. He's not going to shoot like this every game, but if he plays like this and he gets those attempts, he's going to end up over 30. So I love, the highest scoring game of his career. Tyler Herro just misses 30. He's at 29. Hornets lose by 17. They snap a 10-game losing streak through the Heat. Had the L streak at home going as well, but man, most points scored by a Heat player this season by Wiggy. Can't you see? Nothing smalls about this Wiggy. Wiggy Bay, how about that? Wiggins Bay, Biscayne Bay, Wiggle Bay. We're on our way to Wiggle Bay. What you know about the Wiggles? I got 3 kids. Come on. They were all born in the 2000s. So 5 shy of his career high of 47. Wiggins. So wait a second. It said 42 points for the second highest scoring game of his career. He had 47 in 2016 for Minnesota against the Lakers, former number 1 pick. Playing like it, the trade for Jimmy Butler and Golden State coming to town. We'll see what Wiggins and Butler can do against each other. Meanwhile, for the Hornets, who didn't play like Hornets, they had Nick Smith Jr. with 19, LaMelo with 18. I said LiAngelo, didn't I? I'm a dope. He's the rapper. Who cares about the Ball family anyway? But 18 points, 11 assists for LaMelo. Yeah, they're eliminated from postseason contention. With that loss today, they haven't made the playoffs since 2016, but they can get their laughs because they gave the Heat Terry Rozier, who hasn't been getting anything done for Miami. But the Charlotte Hornets were up by 12 in the second quarter. He went on a nice run, and we have some news about Jovic on the injury front. He's been out 15 games, 4 weeks with a broken bone on his hand. He's just about ready for full clearance. Spoelstra said before the game, Coach Spo said he's doing all the conditioning. This is a quote. He's doing all the conditioning. He's doing all the weight room work that he can do. And there you have it. So a 22-2 run to close the half for Miami. And they shot 10 of 14 over the final 7:05 before intermission, while the Hornets, in that span, they were 6 for 20. They had 6 points in the paint and none on the fast break, whereas Miami was 15 of 22, 22 in the paint, 10 on the break, and Bam. Yeah, no, not Bam. Bam I wonder what's up with Bam lately. But Charlotte shot 1 for 12 when Miami went on that mini run. Let's see. The 6th longest win streak in Heat history, or losing streak, is over. 17, 15, 13, 12, and 11 were the ones ahead of it. And there were 2 other 10-game streaks. Jimmy Butler and the Dubs coming to town in a couple of days. Miami was favored by 7.5 in this game, but really what it comes down to, and look, we talk about this all the time with the NBA. Whoever's hot on that night, so much is put on the shooting. With so many threes and so many, perimeter jumpers, there's jack, 3 after 3 after 3. If you're not seeing this all night, it's going to be a long one. So much of what happens in today's NBA, game by game, night by night, is predicated upon who is shooting well. And you don't know that till the game starts, so it's hard to be a sharp these days. You know what I'm saying? But what I will say is we are a little bit late for a break, so it's your Heat Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Jim Greasehaber, call me Grease. A little bit of a switch to the rundown this week, but it is all about Monarch Money tonight. And I'm really pumped to tell you about our friends at Monarch Money. On the other side, I am going to tell you what happened in this game tonight from a statistical standpoint. More on Wiggins, more on Herro, the rest of the players in the Heat lineup, and what they were able to do against the Hornets, the team stats, and also still to come. Final score graphic, star of the game, and you know what it is, that turning point as well. But first, we tell you about Monarch Money as we continue free on the Locked On Podcast Network, whether it's where you get your audio podcasts, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeart, you know what I'm saying, or whether it's OTT on Roku, or obviously here on the YouTube. But I have a question for you from our friends at Monarch Money. Ever check your bank account and just wonder, where did all my money go? It happens to me all the time. Between dining out, that's where mine goes, online shopping, entertainment, it's easy to lose track. That is where Monarch Money comes in. Your personal CFO, giving you full visibility and control over your finances, right? And Monarch Money, not just a budgeting app, it is a complete financial command center. What do I mean by that? I mean, you can track all your accounts, all your investments, and all your spending in one place, so you can stop just managing your money and you can start building wealth. For example, surprising insights, things I've learned when I started using Monarch. I realized just how much I was spending on food delivery. Now I budget smarter and save more. They have so many things that make it convenient, all in one, right? Instead of juggling multiple apps, you can use Monarch to check your finances, track spending, and even plan your long-term goals. It's easy to collab, managing money with your partner. So much easy to do, smoother than ever. You can track shared and personal accounts, set goals, stay on the same page without the stress. So what does all that mean for you? Very simple. Easy. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONNBA at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. That's 50% off your first year. Monarchmoney.com. Code LOCKEDONNBA. Again, I repeat, half off your first year with Monarch Money on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day. Jim Grease Hobber, call me Grease, Grees, at Jim Grease _ on social media. Give me a follow, make you holler. I hope you got to check me out hosting the press conference for a boxing match. ICS Mania 1. Press conference was just in Vegas at the Palms on the stage at the Pearl with Rampage, Jackson, and Rashad Evans. It was awesome. And we got a little bit of the NBA fix with the Heat going. Look, they're still the 10 seed in the East. They're still going to be in a play-in, still going to be dangerous in the playoffs. And with Wiggins and Tyler, man, if they shoot well, and then you got Bam just really cooled off with the scoring. If he can get it going again, there are a lot of ifs with your Miami Heat. And I'm sure we'll be doing a playoff preview with the guys from Locked On Heat before it pops off. All right, Jim Grease Hobber, call me Grease. One more thing to get to before we get on out of here, of course, is our graphics with the stars of the game, the turning point, and all the other things that go along with it. I don't think that I actually, here we go. 1 second here. Dun, 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 dun. Here we go. What's the scenario? There we go. All right, so we enter the center. There we go. There we go. And just one more thing to upload here for you, and that would be our turning point of the game. But like I was saying, if Wiggins continues to shoot, and he's not going to shoot like this night in and night out. I mean, the guy shot 76%. It's not going to happen, right? So even though in a situation like that, with a guy like him, right, with a guy like him, you are going to see, and that's why I didn't get it, you are going to see on a night like tonight, he's not going to shoot or make as many shots as he did tonight, but even if he shoots 50% or 40%, he's still on a 30-point game. You know what I mean? He is still on a 30-point game, and that is that. There you have it. All right, we tried the 2-shot. That didn't work for a second there, and sometimes it just doesn't want to do it for you, and you just have to accept it and move on. But really what I thought, you saw a lot of tonight with Miami, and it was really dope, actually. You saw a lot, like always, of the hustle, of the effort, diving for loose balls. They're on the floor. Beautiful passes and catches by this team. I mean, there's so much to be, I want to say, proud of, thankful for, whatever it is with this team. So much to build upon. How about that? So much to build upon with this Miami Heat team. They are legitimately fantastic in so many ways, with the effort, with the hustle, with the grit, with the drive, the determination. And I really appreciate that about this team. That's something that night in and night out, and you everydayers know, and you NBA fans. And by the way, shout out to the Locked On Heat daily newsletter. It's free. Heat and all your NBA news every day in your inbox, lockedondaily.com. It's free. Locked On Heat podcast every day as well. Those two guys do a phenomenal job, right? So with all that coming your way, with everything for your Miami Heat day in and day out, you everydayers know, with the Locked On Podcast Network, you see this team and you see what this league is now. It's Chuck and Duck, right? And you have some elite teams like Boston, great with the three, great on defense, tailor-made for this league that we're in right now. Look at Ime Udoka in Houston. Who wouldn't want to see a Heat Rockets finals after what they did to him in Beantown? But no one wants to see the Heat. No one. Not because you think they're going to beat you in the opening round, but because they're going to run you ragged, because they're going to dive all over the floor. You're going to get nicked up, bruised up, beat up, playing the Heat, and no one's going to want to do that. Trust me when I tell you, nobody is going to want to do that. All right, Jim Greasehopper, call me Grease, about to wrap it up in just a moment here on your Heat Postcast. But before we do, we got a couple things to get to. It's like a kid on Christmas. So many toys to play with, beginning with this.
This is what you'll be talking about.
This is what we are talking about. Andrew Wiggins, Wiggy, can't you see? Sometimes your game just hypnotized me. 42 points for Wiggins, 6 of 8 from 3 tonight, and from the floor overall, he just killed it, man. 16 of 21, a magnificent night shooting for Andrew Wiggins. And how about Tyler Herro, 11 of 19, 2 of 5 from 3 for 29 points for Tyler. He added 6 rebounds. Kel'el Ware, 12 points, 8 rebounds for the Rook. Still playing really well down the stretch. Bam Adebayo in double figures as well, as Bam was able to contribute 11 points tonight, and then only 3 for Duncan Robinson, who hasn't been scoring lately. 12 off the bench for Davion Mitchell, 5 of 7 shooting for him. Tremendous job off the pine for him. 7 for Highsmith off the bench, 6 for Burks, Jaquez, and Larson didn't score. Meanwhile, for the Hornets, they obviously clinched not going to the playoffs tonight. 17 for Bridges, 14 for Williams, 18 for Ball, who had 11 assists. Bridges had 13 rebounds, 7 for Jeffries, 19 for Smith. And then off the bench, Curry, obviously, Seth with 10. Meanwhile, on the team stats side of things, and real quick, let me just fix something for you. There we go. All right, so on the team side of things, man, that looks good. That whole screen looks so good. So good. On the team side, Miami shot 57% to Charlotte's 47, 41.4 from 3 to 33.3. And here's where it gets good, right? After this, the free throws, Miami 16 of 20, Charlotte 12 of 13. Miami could have made a couple more of those. The rebounds, Miami out-rebounded 40 to 32. Offensive rebounds, 12-7 for Charlotte. But the turnovers, 20 for the Hornets, 12 for Miami. They had 20 a couple of games ago, and during that 10-game losing streak, they were averaging 17-plus turnovers per game. Had it down at 12 tonight. They had the 10 steals. They had more assists. The points off turnovers, Charlotte scored more, but Miami, fast break points, 18-6. Points in the paint, 56-54 Charlotte. But when the Heat went on that run in the second quarter, that 22-2 run that included the 15-0 burst, they had 22 points in the paint to 6 for Charlotte. So the overall number of points in the paint in the Hornets' favor. But when the Heat decided this game, when the run that they went on to decide the game in the second and then in the third quarter, they were dominating in the paint. They were dominating on the fast break with the points. Tyler had a couple of nice dunks. Wiggins had a spell in the third when he had 15 points in the third. He had a couple threes and a couple elbow jumpers. He was even getting all the rolls and bounces tonight. So 37 points in the second, 39 in the third for Miami, 76 in the middle two quarters. And they did go 5 minutes without a bucket in the fourth, true to form, but it didn't come back to burn them tonight. Real quick, last thing was biggest lead for the Heat, 24. Biggest lead for the Hornets, 12. Miami was favored by 7.5, win plus cover. And the total was 214.5, which means it went over. So if you had the Heat and the over tonight, congratulations. You did very well with the action on the action. All right before we get on out of here, got about 30 seconds left in the show. Let's hit you with the final score graphic one more time for your mind. 122-105. The Heat beat the Hornets. Look at that defense by Mitchell and by Bam. Bam still rotating, playing the D. Made some great catches tonight, facilitating the offense, but not a lot going on offensively for Bam. But when Wiggins playing like that and Tyler, Bam's role is a little bit different. All right, what was the key moment in tonight's game? I'm about to tell you.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
And here it is. 22-2 run, including that 15-zip spurt to close the second quarter, take a 10-point lead at half. And, I kind of like this picture because it shows Tyler getting down and dirty, diving on the floor. This dude does not get the credit that he deserves for the deflections, for the loose balls, for the tips, for all the things he does on defense, all the little plays he makes throughout the course of a game to really help the Heat be a better team. And Tyler Herro has been fantastic with those things all season long. All right, so what are we waiting for? We got one more thing to hit before we bounce on out, and here we go. Whoop.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
There he comes, and there's 3 of them. You know me. It's like hockey with me. The sweaters are on. We have 3 of them. First, the Killer K. How about my man, Kal Ware, the rookie? Yeah, not playing like it anymore. 12 points, 8 rebounds for Killer K. Look at that dunk. He's got dudes hanging on his arms. They were badly outplayed by Williams the last time Miami faced the Hornets. And tonight, Killer K along with Bam, yeah, my man Mark Williams had 14 points after a 20-plus game last time out against Miami. So I believe the word would be neutralized. The second star of the game, we need a hero. Look at Tyler, my man, with a big game tonight. 29 points, 11 of 19 shooting, 2 of 5 from 3, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. Tyler Herro, all kinds of deflections. Look at him there, playing with a real sense of urgency. Nice job by our man Tyler. And finally, the number 1 star of the game tonight. What a performance he put on for the Heat. Yeah, he had 3 rebounds. Yeah, he had 5 assists, but he went 6 of 8 from 3. He went 16 of 21 from the floor. He had 15 points in the third quarter. He was the driving force and the key behind the run in the second quarter and the run in the third quarter when Miami scored 76 points combined to seize this game by the throat and put that L streak to bed. And he, of course, is Wiggy, 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 can't you see? Sometimes your play just hypnotized me, and I just love your 42. Second highest scoring game of his career. Wiggins really starting to gel and fit well with Miami. They got the first round pick to make some trades. Jimmy Butler coming to town. Wiggins and Butler Tuesday night. Oh, baby, this is going to be dope. We're here right after with the Heat postcast. Yeah, it's, man, that is a 7:30 tip on TNT. Oh, Shaq and Chuck and Kenny and the boys going to have fun with that one. Zib Butler, the petulant child, coming back home to try to maybe add a little insult to injury, the injury that he has caused his former team, the Miami Heat, by being such a crybaby and such just a nail in the tire of the Heat season this year. But should be a good game. On Tuesday, they play the Hawks. On Thursday, Saturday, it's the Sixers. Busy week for the Miami Heat. Starting tonight, they get it off on the right track with a 122-105 win over the Charlotte Hornets. Until Tuesday, I'm Jim Greasehaber. Call me Grease. Enjoy this win. Thank you so much for being here. Don't forget Locked On Heat podcast. Don't forget LockedOnDaily.com for your free Miami Heat newsletter and NBA newsletter. And do not forget all the ways you can see me and all of us on the Locked On Podcast Network with the Heat postcast. You know what we're saying. Wherever you get your podcast. That means Spotify. That means Apple Podcasts. That means iHeart and many more. That means OTT on the Roku. Yeah, you know me. And that means YouTube. Keep on following us on the Locked On Podcast Network for more day-to-day coverage of your favorite team, your favorite city, your favorite league. The Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Till next time, Heat fan, keep your game tight and your mind right. We'll see you Tuesday when Zib Butler coming back to town.